you're ground zero. You do your show from London. It is ground zero for every kind of ugly banking, investment banking maneuver. Everything ugly happens there in the UK. Now, how do you compare what's going over there with what's happening in the U.S.? You know both markets very, very well. You've worked in both markets. You're a commentator about both markets. Give me your take on it.
Well, we say we're financial war reporters on the front line in London. And London is where all major banks outsource their big frauds. All the major scandals, AIG, Lehman, the London Whale, Bernie Madoff, go right down the list. All go through London as the pivotal point where they commit those frauds. Because in London, the rules are different to allow these massive frauds to take place. And that's what they offer as a service. So London banks and the big four accountancies that also have huge presence in the city of London, the KPMGs, PricewaterhouseCoopers, Ernst & Young, and there's a fourth, they also are colluding with these big banks to offer a concierge service for financial fraud for financial terrorists. So when Jamie Dimon needs some financial terrorism, he calls up KPMG or HSBC in the City of London, and they work out the plan of attack. When Lloyd Blankfein at Goldman Sachs needs to destroy Greece, as he did, along with John Paulson, the hedge fund manager, and George Papandreou, the former prime minister, they organize a financial terrorism in London, and then they go and destroy Greece. And now Greece is being sold off bit by bit to make enormous profit to these financial terrorists. Financial terrorism is by far the most insidious and destructive form of terrorism in the world, and the City of London is its headquarters, and Wall Street is the enabler. And all these other forms of terrorism pale by comparison. And when you think about it, these guys, like a Jamie Dimon or Lloyd Blankfein, they're cut from the same cloth as a Osama bin Laden or ISIS. They both believe in warped versions of texts. So you'll have Jamie Dimon quote The Wealth of Nations by Adam Smith in a way that supports his terrorism, the same way a jihadi would misquote the Quran. You'll have these guys on Wall Street blowing themselves up and their friends in the name of market fundamentalism, the same way that these other jihadis will blow people up for theocratic fundamentalism. They're essentially cut from the same cloth, and their objective is the same thing. One believes in dying and going to heaven and being with the virgins. The other believes in going to option heaven, where all options expire profitable, and all mergers are without any fees.
Yeah,
and that's their version of heaven. And they're from the same womb. And you know what? What feeds both, Mike, unquestionably, is the central bank system that keeps interest rates near 0%. So why would a bank on Wall Street or a corporation stop doing what they're doing if their business model is to keep 90 cents of every dollar of fraud they commit, thanks to low interest rates, 0% interest rates? Now, when you take that message to the lefties or take it to society at large, they say, we get it. Their cost of terrorism, financial terrorism, is near zero. And if you raise the cost, you would exterminate, you would get rid of most of that problem. The reason they get away with it, though, is because, wait a minute, my mortgage payment goes up? No way. So essentially, people have swapped a higher value on their property temporarily for their sovereignty.
Yeah.
So Americans, go ahead.
Max Keiser, I got to tell you something. There's only a handful of you out there, and I'm grateful.
There's only one, Mike. There's only one. It's just me. I'm out here alone.
You're alone in London. Hey, thanks for joining me, Max, okay?
My pleasure.